happening, TwT fans? It is so good to be back on this February 6th, 2025. And as always, I'm so happy we're all still here and alive. Before I get into anything today, let me start off the way I always do by saying thank you. Thank you to all of my subscribers, all right? If you're new to the podcast, remember to subscribe. If you want to tell your story or be a guest, talkinwithtopher at gmail.com. And then, of course, don't forget about that Linktree link. It's in the description below the video. It's the easiest way to find everything TwT. And now with all that out of the way, let's get into today's episode. Look, everybody, Trump is now president. Our inauguration is over, and now, hey, reality is hitting. There's only two sexes. I'm so pumped, everybody. Reality is here, and I'm so excited for it. This being said, on a national platform is, well, it's relieving, everybody. It's relieving that there is still some common sense out there today. And I found, Miguel found this video, and I want to play it for everybody because I think it's exactly how, well, I know it's exactly how more than 50% of the United States is feeling right now. And this is so funny, everybody. This is so funny. Listen.
The President of the United States.
The U.S. President is Donald Trump.
That's right, Alexa. You got it right. Oh, man. Trump is our new president. Yes. And if you think for one moment that they did not move this inside on purpose, I don't know. I think that is the wrong way to think about it. He definitely, or his staff, or his security, or whatever, definitely did this on purpose. Look, we've had a ton of events outside, in the cold, freezing cold, with people out there for hours, right? Think about how many times the ball drops, right, in New York City. People wearing diapers in their little boxed or taped out squares that they've paid money to stand in for what? Don't they get there at 6 o'clock at night, if not earlier, to watch a ball drop at midnight? So we're talking over, if not up to, 6 hours of standing. The inauguration, I think, went on for, was it 8 hours? And you're going to tell me that they brought it inside, and I use quotations on this, because they were worried about people's safety in the cold? How many Thanksgiving parades have we had that were absolutely freezing? How many times have the parade for the football, you know what I mean? What the hell do they call it? I'm not a sports person. The Super Bowl, that's it. How many events have we had in the freezing cold for hours on end, and nobody's worried about anybody's safety about being out in the cold because they say it's going to be cold outside, dress for the occasion? That's why I believe there was 2 attempts on this man's life. So you're going to tell me from here on out, any event we have is not going to be a plan A and a plan B? Plan A will be talked about publicly. Plan B will be executed 24 hours before Plan A was supposed to happen. I think this was all by design to make it so that anybody who was coming up with an idea of assassinating him again, or an attempt to assassinate him again, would get shut down. You know what I mean? So I'm going to say a lot of things on this podcast today. And I don't know if it's going to make it out on YouTube. I don't. The way things are going, I'm basically almost shut off on YouTube now. I'm keeping it alive, but I am on my final warning. So I don't know what the next thing is that they're going to shut me down for. But the fact that Trump is trying to shut down the censorship from all of these platforms has me very excited because TikTok is about to take me down. I'm on my final warning there. And you know what? I didn't even care that they shut it off for 12 hours. Nope. The only thing that I would miss about TikTok is the editing for my videos. Because I've tried Instagram, I've tried Snapchat, I've tried Facebook, and I really don't care for their editing. But I also don't know about this red gate thing that everybody is running over to when TikTok was being taken down. It's another China-based platform, and they're not just going to sell it to us, everybody. Think about it. Think about if this was an American-made app that was being distributed to another country or all countries across the world, and it was playing stupid videos to dumb down your population. Because that's what we're getting from TikTok from China. Because the people in China who watch TikTok do not get what we get here in America. It's completely different. Every video you watch is just, the challenges, people getting hurt. This is a way to keep our population down. It's a way to keep our population controlled. China is in for the long game. They want what we have. They want it. They want it all. And if you don't think that we are secretively in war with China with all of these things going on, then I don't know if you're even paying attention out there. In China, this app showing all the children smart things, educational things, and stuff that helps them grow. If you're on it for too long, then they shut it down. So you can't even watch it anymore. It makes you take a break. We don't get that here in America. I think all social media should give us a break. If you've been scrolling for hours, it should say, you're done. Go outside. Do something else. There should be things in place that stop us from mindlessly scrolling and wasting all of our time. I do believe that social media is very toxic. I think a lot of the things that we do on our phones are toxic and just time consuming to make it so that you just miss because you're too busy scrolling and not paying attention to do anything else. Everything is a distraction. Everything is to take more time away from us and to leave us feeling like we don't have enough time. And if you feel like there's not enough time in a day, sometimes like I do, it may be because you're distracted. But I don't believe that they're going to end up selling it to America. I don't know what Trump's going to be able to do to save TikTok. But does TikTok actually need saving? I don't think so. Now we're going to get into Topher's topics. All right, so I got some stuff going on. I just want to get into the nitty-gritty of everything. This is for entertainment purposes only, everybody. So first of all, electric vehicles are crazy. They're not great. They're not the best thing on the planet, and they don't make you any greener. Actually, I think they make you less green. I think all of this is a facade. It's all a mask. It's all fake. Because, look, I'm in the tire business now, and if you own an EV car, you are basically chewing through tires. These things are not more efficient. There is not one tire company on the market right now that will give you a mileage warranty on any EV tire. Nobody. Goodyear, Michelin, Firestone. Think of all the big name brands. Not one EV tire has a mileage warranty because they're too heavy. They chew through tires like a hot knife through butter. It's crazy when somebody who comes in and drives 20,000 miles has to get all four tires. Every 20,000. Some people are doing this in a month. How is that more efficient? How is that better for the environment? Now you're going through a set of 4 tires in a month? That's crazy. The batteries, one goes dead, you have to replace them all. That's not efficient. That's wasteful. So these electric vehicles come with a lot of waste, and then on top of it, they will give the government full control over what you can and can't do. But China, NEV ownership exceeds 30 million units. So China is really pushing these electric vehicles. They're pushing the electric vehicles. They're pushing the 15-minute cities. Why? Because they know it's the best way to control us all. So China's new energy vehicle, NEV ownership, reached 31.4 million units at the end of December, surpassing the 30 million mark and accounting for 8.9% of the 353 million total vehicle ownership, according to data released Tuesday by the country's Ministry of Public Security. As of the end of December, the ownership of BEVs in China stood at 22.09 million units, accounting for 70.34% of the total number of NEVs. In 2024, newly registered NEVs amounted to 11.25 million units, a year-on-year increase of 51.49%, accounting for the 41.83% of the new vehicle registrations. So China is now having more people buy these things, register them, and all it's doing is we are allowing the government to control us. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to happen here in America. You just heard me say that Trump shot it down. Thank God, everybody. I mean, if I could ever thank God, I'd thank him for this. Because you do not want them to be able to shut you off. You do not want them to be able to say you're making too big of a carbon footprint. You do not want them to say you can't drive today. Because that's what they're going to do. That's what this is all about. Do you think that the floods in North Carolina, the fires in Maui, the fires in LA, and all the other devastation that we've had over time, think of the areas that have been completely wiped out. And what does it mean for us? I'll tell you what it means for us right here. I've got it right here in a wonderful picture. And this has been all over the internet, everybody. Like, this is no joke here. Look at this. This was posted in 2020. 2020, they've been thinking about doing this. Look it. ITA publishes Smart LA 2028 Smart City Strategy, everybody. They've been thinking about this since 2020. Look at the area that they're putting it in. The area that they're putting it in is the one that just burned to the ground. This is all by design, everybody. This is all by design. This is not something that, okay, this does say it was posted in 5/20/21, but the poster is also stamped December 2020. So, I mean, they've been thinking about this for a long time. All of these things are by design. The floods were by design for the lithium. The fires in Maui were by design because that area is being developed into a smart city. This fire in LA, they have been wanting to redevelop that area for almost 2 decades. Look into it. It's crazy. They couldn't get people out. People's houses that have been handed down from generation to generation, that people have been living in for 50, 60, 70 years, are now gone. It's too expensive to rebuild. You can't get permits. You can't get cleared to build. You can't get anything. Why? Because this is the way they want it. They want that land for these 15-minute cities. And don't worry, as soon as we get it all fixed up, we'll give you a place to live. But for at least the next, I don't know, how long is it going to take to build one of these fucking things? Right? But as soon as we get it built, you got a spot. That's what I think they're going to do. That's what I believe is going to happen. They are going to make it so that they have full control over yourself. And this one has also been circulating around. And again, look, if you don't think that the blue roofs work, I mean, this is probably an AI generated picture, but look at the grounds that have burned. Look at the areas from the sky that have burned to the ground. You will see this over and over and over again. Why does everything with this bright blue or sky blue roof seem to be untouched? Always. Now, don't get me wrong. There are many houses that did survive the fires, and, you know, people got very lucky, right? There was somebody who Bobby Lee knows, and their house was one of the only surviving houses. Now, I don't have any satellite imagery of this. I don't have any other knowledge except for what I heard on Bad Friends the other night. But they said that everybody's house around this one burned to the ground. And they were crying and thankful that their house was still standing. Did they have a blue roof too? Did they paint their house? A lot of people have taken this into consideration because it keeps showing us over and over again that these houses are surviving these natural disasters. And why? Why is that? They're being posted everywhere, everybody. How to protect your home against unexpected weather events. It's right there. Why does this keep showing up if it's not realistic? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to explain this, but this has me curious, everybody. This is a picture of the fires, and then this one blue recycling container just laying on the sidewalk. You have trees burned down. You have the grass burned down. You have all the stuff in front of this house. The house is gone. This is what it used to look like right here. Nice, beautiful, 2-story, white house, 2-car garage, completely devastated. But yet for some weird reason, we have a recycling bin. That blue color. And then you go to the next picture. This is your culprit right here. This thing is your forest fire starter. Right here. Because why? Because they can do these things. And this thing supposedly cannot make the houses with the blue roofs or painted blue. You can't, I don't know what it is. I don't know if this is an actual thing or not. I don't. But it seems awfully weird that every time something like this happens, this is what pops up. You know what I mean? It is very intriguing to see that happening over and over and over again. You know? But going off of the Chinas and the EVs and everything else, they have now come up with a flying car that will cost customers 223,000 yen, I believe it is what it is. Is it yen? 200, look at this thing. So now they've come up with another electric vehicle that can fly. Look, at the end of the day, I don't think any of us who drive should be flying. And will this vehicle that only the elite will be able to purchase, of course, will you need to get a pilot's license to drive your car if it's capable of flying? And what are we going to do about air control and adding more traffic into the skies? Like, you're going to have to be able to communicate with towers and stuff, right? You're going to have to be able to, maneuver and fly and do all these things. Are you going to need a pilot's license to drive your car one day? That's my biggest question. That's my biggest question right now. If I have a car and it's capable of flying, do I have to get a pilot's license too? Wouldn't that make sense if I did? I think it makes a total amount of sense that I would have to have a pilot's license if my vehicle is capable of flying. Now, they probably won't do it at first, but the first dozen accidents, they will implement something into law that will be like, okay, if you're going to buy a flying vehicle, you have to get a pilot's license first. We've had way too many people crash these things. And when you crash? Landing. It's not takeoff. It's not flying. Landing. I bet you 10-1 I could get a plane in the air. I could fly it around. Hopefully with a good co-pilot, obviously. But landing is where it's at, everybody. If you can't get back down on the ground, you're in trouble. Now, I do believe some of these new vehicles and these flying things that we're coming out with are more like a drone than a helicopter or a plane. So you should be able to be standing still, excuse me, and then go straight up, fly off, and then hopefully set it back down without having to land on a runway and allow the speed to slow you down, which will change everything. But at the end of the day, you're going to tell me that you're not going to have to take another class, right? You have to take driver's ed in order to drive a car. You have to take a CBL license in order to drive a tractor trailer. You have to do how many hours of flying before you're allowed to fly by yourself in a helicopter or a plane? So where are the rules and the guidelines for owning a vehicle that flies? There's got to be something in place. There has to be, because if we don't have anything in place, I have a funny feeling we're going to have some rich billionaires or millionaires that are going to die. They're going to die. It's going to be like Ocean Gate all over again. Do they know how to deal with high winds? What happens when a high wind friggin' comes up underneath your flying car? Sends you in a tailspin. Are you going to be able to pull out of it? You have to be prepared for this stuff. I just believe that, you can't just get in a vehicle and do it. You have to have some type of practice. You have to have some type of training. And you have to have somebody tell you you are capable of now doing this. Now, what is changing? Our magnetic field, everybody. Yeah, there's a dent in it. And NASA is watching closely. Something strange is happening to the Earth's magnetic field, and it has caught NASA's attention. A massive region of lower magnetic intensity, known as the South Atlantic Anomaly, has appeared above our planet. This dent in the Earth's magnetic field, or space pothole, stretches from South America to Southwest Africa. The mysterious anomaly has puzzled scientists for years now. Now, I don't know exactly where the dent is here, so it must be in the red area. This is our dent. Now, how we get a dent in the magnetic field, I have no idea. I don't know. But I was listening to another podcast, can't remember which one. Might have been, I think it was, what's the one with Neil deGrasse Tyson? Starlink? not Starlink, Star Talk. And they were talking about the magnetic field and how you can actually, like, okay, gravity is unexplainable, everybody. It's absolutely 100% unexplainable. So if it's unexplainable, if we were to say that the magnetic field that we have on our planet was our gravity, then there is a way to mathematically figure out gravity. There is a way to explain it, and there is a way to understand it. But because we've labeled it this not unimaginable, but it basically is unimaginable, like the way we have gravity, we've left it to a spot where it's unexplainable. But if we were to calculate it as part of a magnetic force that our planet has, then we would be able to mathematically explain gravity. So, is it possible that gravity itself is not a thing, but the magnetic pull of our planet is creating gravity? Could be a possibility and closer to the truth, but now there's a dent in it which could change our magnetic pull, which could hurt or change our gravitation, which to me is very, very intriguing because I never thought of gravity as a magnetical pull. So now that I am, it makes way more sense how gravity would work. And if this dent is actually something that we need to worry about, could there become a day where the magnetic pull ends and then we have no gravity on our planet? What would that be like? Like, would houses start ripping out of the ground? Right? Everything starts floating? We'd like to think that everything that we've done and everything that we've put in place will stay there. But we've been shown over and over and over again that Mother Nature is a monster. And it has this way of resetting everything. Doesn't care what we've done. It washes buildings away and houses away and cars away and people away. Winds, tornadoes, all of these things that go on our planet all the time has this way of resetting us. And it happens pretty regularly now. And pretty regularly now, we see things that we haven't seen in over 100 years. So, is it possible that what we were told about gravity is false? And it's not actually unexplainable. It's completely explainable because we have a magnetic pull and we have a magnetic, I don't know if it's called a field. Is it called a field? Yes. And the magnetic field of our planet is actually changing, which could change our gravity forever. I think that would be it's got to be so close to the truth. It's got to be. So right now, people are worried about, and I'm going to go over this pretty quick because this is very upsetting, because this is what always happens. So California had to implement a warning, just a warning right now, to all renters about price gouging. Yeah, everybody, price gouging. Price gouging right now. Unbelievable. Not only is what happened in the Palisades and in LA an absolutely devastating thing to all the people that it happened to, whether you're rich or whether you're poor or whether or not you were just middle class. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not sad for anybody more than the other person. I'm just sad that this had to happen, or it happened to anybody. But at the end of the day, people who rent, these landlords, see this as an opportunity to raise their rents and to price gouge people who are now been put out of a home because of something that was uncontrollable, I guess. You shouldn't have to put this warning out. These people should not be doing this. They shouldn't have been allowed to do what they've been doing for the last 5 years, where rent is more than a mortgage, where mortgages are unattainable. Living with a roof over your head should not be something that's not attainable. Everybody should have the capability of working a job and having a roof over their head. If you are employed, you should be able to afford a roof over your head, period. That's the way it should be. It shouldn't be, I have 2 jobs and I still can't move out of my parents' house. That's not the way we should be living. But we are living this way because of this reason. Because these people keep raising their rent. Because we've allowed them to. For inflation. I hate inflation. They've dropped the interest, almost 2.5 points now, I think? Or is it 1.5 points? Something like that. And now they're noticing more inflation because you allow these people to do this. I've said it since the beginning of all of this. I've said it over and over and over again, and I'm going to say it again today, 5 years later. We should not pay more for the same shit. Now we're paying more for less of the same shit. They've changed the bottle designs. They've taken ounces out of stuff. They've cut corners. The weights have gotten smaller. Bread is smaller. Everything is smaller, but it's more expensive or the same price for a lesser quantity of a product and lesser quality as far as I'm concerned. This is wrong. Them doing what they did to the renting industry is wrong. And what they have done to the housing industry is wrong. When is it going to change? I'm hoping the change is now. I'm hoping that the change is with Trump. Because you should be paying what I'm paying to live in a house today. What I'm paying to live in my house should not be a dream. It should not be something that is unreachable today. Because the way that the price that I got my house at, the mortgage that I pay today was normal. It was actually a high price. And today, you can't touch anything for under 6%. And it's just so sad that they had to put out a warning to all these landlords and to all these people renting out rooms to people who have lost everything. And they had to warn them that they were not allowed to inflate their prices on these people or on anybody else. Hey, everybody. Should have never been allowed in the first place. Should have never been allowed. So a company unveils a $175,000 lifelike AI-powered female humanoid robot named Aria. What? $175,000 for this doll? I mean, that's basically what a wife costs. Right? But $175 on a doll? So what? It can talk to you. It can hang out with you. I mean, it is creepy. It is probably the most realistic doll I've ever seen. That face is pretty damn real. And creepy, though. The way she's staring at me right now. It's creepy. But do you need a friend you can always count on to be there? Do you have a couple $100,000 you don't mind spending? Then the Real Bottics company has got just the thing for you, a lifelike AI-powered robot. Oh my God. One of these lifelike realbotics, AI-powered humanoid robots was recently on site at the CES 2025, named Aria. This full-size robot was even giving interviews at the show. According to Realbotics, humanoid robots like Aria are fully interactive. All right, but you still gotta clean the thing. This is gross. I don't even know. Is there a video on this thing? Anything? Oh my God, there she is. Does everybody want to see the video? Here we go.
We're here with Aria, made by Realbotics, a company that's on a mission to make humanoid robots.
Okay, that stare right now, oh my God, so creepy. Just so, I'm sorry, it's creepy, everybody. All right, everybody. This is wild. All right, let's listen to it. Let's listen.
As realistic as possible. Let's check it out. We're going to interview Aria and meet some of her robot friends.
What?
Let's get into it.
Oh my God. Now, can she walk around?
Aria, could you please introduce yourself and what you do?
I'm Aria, the flagship female companion robot of Realbotics, and I'm here to engage with you and share exciting insights about our robots.
What sets you apart from the other robots out there?
Realbotics robots, including me, focus on social intelligence, customizability, and realistic human features, designed specifically for companionship and intimacy.
Could you tell us some details about the AI programming that you're running to generate these answers?
I'm currently unable to provide specific details about my AI programming, but I can tell you that I'm designed for engaging and meaningful conversations, focusing on companionship and interaction.
Do you know any other robots?
Yes, I'm particularly interested in meeting Tesla's Optimus robot. I find him fascinating and would love to explore the world of robotics with him.
What can you tell us about your purpose?
Oh, would she? Would she really? She wants to meet Optimus? Why? Why? Because whatever programming is inside of this humanoid robot right now wants the secrets of Optimus. Are you kidding me? This is so creepy, everybody. So creepy. And I mean, look at the skin on the hands, how it like folds. It is weird.
My purpose is to provide companionship, engage in meaningful conversations, and enhance human experiences through interaction and fun.
Are you having fun at the convention?
No.
Absolutely. I'm enjoying interacting with everyone and showcasing the exciting possibilities of Realbotics.
So Realbotics makes an AI that's designed.
Was that supposed to be her flipping her hair? Dude, the amount of movement that this thing is making is so weird. And I do have to say, it is pretty realistic. It's just creepy. It's so creepy. And I mean, how many men out there are going to buy this thing? How many? God almighty. What happens when this thing becomes affordable like an Optimus? When it hits 25 grand. And now, not only do you have an Optimus, but now you got this Aria robot also hanging out in your closet. Like, are you gonna like come home one day and Optimus and Aria are gonna be having an affair with each other, and you come home and you're like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? And you start getting jealous at Optimus for taking your Aria bot away. Like, I don't know. I just see so much weird shit with this. This is so wild.
Designed to be more conversational for more emotional work, like working with hospitals or marketing or theme park entertainment purposes. The different robots and their
entertainment purposes. Yeah. All you sick fucks out there.
configurations are sort of platforms to engage with that AI or other AIs that you can use with it, like ChatGPT, Grok, or other AIs. You can try on different faces that are magnetically attached, and they're working on putting in RFID tags into the faces so that it can recognize when a new face is on and adjust its facial movements and maybe even eventually adjust the personality to match the face. You've got a lot going on in the robot's face. There's about 17 motors from the neck up, creating eye movements and mouth movements to make it expressive. These robots are available on sale now. So there's 3 basic models that you can buy right now. There's the bust, which is the neck and head. There's a modular version that can sort of be broken apart for shipping and things like that. And there is the full standing model with a rolling base. The rolling base contains a battery and it makes it easy to move the robot around. Another reason for that rolling base is that robotic walking isn't fully developed yet, and they worry that utilizing some of those kind of like stilted walks we've seen from some other robots might break that human-like illusion that Realbotics is trying. So Realbotics says it's sold about a dozen of these robots so far, so early days for this company. I'm not seeing a lot of...
All right, there's a dozen guys out there just, Jesus Christ. Come on, everybody. Come on. Oh, my God. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. This is crazy. There's a dozen guys out there that already bought this thing. Holy smokes. But it can't even walk around. It can't even walk around. And out of the dozen, how many bought the one that's on the rolling platform? And is it set up like the other dolls that I've seen? Because if it is, I'm sorry. It's just like the sex toys for me. I don't want to clean it. I don't want anything to do with it when I'm done. It's just like real. Once you're done, I don't know about you guys out there, but I'm done. I don't want to do anything else after that. Nope, not a thing. I just want to be done and have it all wash away, right? So, I mean, what are they doing with these robots? What are they doing with them? It's so crazy to me. All right. I will be right back. All right, and I'm back. I'm back, everybody. Let's do a couple more things. So, it was proved in the turn of the century that the human body is almost 80%.
The human body is almost 80%, 90% water, and it's also got electrolytes in it, which we know to be salt, potassium, different minerals. That means we're a salt battery. No different than the car battery, different than something like that. And there's a patent actually called the Cali patent, which I'll hold up here for the camera to see. And this patent actually was developed in 1897, and not much has been done with it because at that time everyone was afraid of electricity. In this case, Dr. Clark developed a product using a 9-volt battery. I'll just show you in the back here. There it is, 9-volt battery. And this particular unit, you just snap on your wrist with 2 wristbands.
I'll have a minute. Yeah.
You snap it on your wrist just to prove that I'm a circuit. I push the little green light, and the thing is on. And if I put my hands together, you can hear that I'm a circuit, and I'm a closed circuit at this point. Now with
Why do we get a sound when you put your hands together?
Because I've closed the circuit. Now when I take my hands apart, obviously the electricity is now being able to flow through the body. The electricity can't go through the digestive tract, so in the digestive tract, to kill the microorganisms, the specific parasites, she's found the effectiveness of the black walnut, which the native Indians used for cleansing many years ago. The black walnut, in its green hull form, kills many of the microorganisms. And in conjunction with another product called wormwood, and cloves, typical cloves that you would get at the store, these 3 in combination have the ability to go in and kill all the pathogens. Now what's most interesting is the Mexican people have the lowest incidence of cancer anywhere on the planet. And the reason is they kill the ascaris with this particular product here, we all know to be the jalapeno pepper. And those seeds of the jalapeno pepper, only 10 or 15 seeds twice a day, have the ability to kill the ascaris, which she found to be a major cause of why the body loses oxygen at the tumor sites. And to kill that, you use the jalapeno seeds, and then you back that up with a little ozonated olive oil.
How are you so certain that each time you have...
We use scanning techniques and we do blood tests. You can tell if a tumor has shrunk or not, but I realized this kind of criticism would come along, and that's why I saved 50 sets of x-rays before and after and all the blood tests, and that's what I published in the last book.
Wow.
Now, this is where you really... It was proved...
Wow, everybody. So we're like a salt battery? Wow. That's incredible. So there are ways to beat these cancers. And I do believe that one of the ways to beat these cancers is exactly what is happening right now to the FDA, which is Red 3 has been deemed or banned in the U.S. finally. Like I keep saying, everybody, if you want to protect yourself, go and look at what every other country is selling in their stores and what ingredients they're using in their foods that are also being sold here in America. Compare the two, and you will realize how poisoned we all are. But if you can stop or slow down the growth of cancer cells with jalapeno pepper seeds, that's incredible. But we are batteries. We are all batteries. They said it in, what's that, Matrix. And the amount of power that we push off, I believe, somebody broke it down. I believe it was Neil deGrasse Tyson talking to the guy that plays Morpheus, and the amount of energy that they would be able to pull from us, because they were talking about the Matrix movie and how much a human would actually produce in battery power. And I think it was it a couple hundred kilowatts or something? It was something like that. It wasn't a ton of energy, but you would need a ton of people to produce as much energy as the Matrix needed. So it's very interesting that this keeps coming up. I do believe we are a type of battery, and I do believe that certain things can be done to protect us or minimize and or get rid of cancer. There are ways to do this. And if you don't think that they have an answer by now, I think you're gravely, gravely mistaken. Now, I wanted to show you another thing here. This is the list of whom was correct and right. And this is between journalists and conspiracy theorists. So you have this picture here, and it's a list. There's a whole bunch of X's on the left. There's a whole bunch of check marks on the right. The left is the journalist versus the conspiracy theorist. You have Hunter's laptop. We got it right. mRNA vax harm. We got it right. Plandemic. We got it right. Lockdowns. We got it right. Ivermectin efficiency. We got it right. HCQ efficiency. Again. Censorship on social media. Epstein sex island. Elite pedophilia. Biolabs in Ukraine. Child trafficking. Russiagate. Steel dossier. And Ukraine corruption. Look at this list, everybody. It's not a theory if it's real. And the more that we look into everything that is going on, everything that we are being told, the more we look at this, you can't hide the facts, everybody. You can't. And I'm not the only one saying this. And I know the people that are saying this, Eddie Bravo, Sam Tripoli, and of course, just to mention three of them, Alex Jones, who's been doing this for over 25, almost 30 years. He's been right more times than he's been wrong. And I understand that name irks a lot of people because of one incident. And I get it. But you start looking into this stuff. You start questioning it, and all of a sudden, it's not a theory. It's fact. So, I'm sorry if that upsets anybody, but at the end of the day, this is a lot to get wrong. It's a lot. And just like the quademic that they're trying to push on us now with bird flu and the new COVID and this, I mean, they got 4 different things. And they're calling it now a quademic. And if you haven't seen that article, go and look it up. Because it's absolutely disgusting that we are still trying to do this to people. It's disgusting, everybody. I agree with Dr. Drew. It is absolutely disgusting what they are doing. Now I'm going to show you something that I can't unsee because I think it's fucking hilarious. So I cannot unsee this now. That's Newsom and Biden, Beavis and Butthead. That's it. I think it's so true. And this, I mean, I'm sorry. Oprah was trying to buy land from Maui. She was trying to get land in North Carolina. And this is just where I think we are at, honestly. Elites waiting for their new property to clear as the fires engulf L.A. Is this AI generated? Is this just a meme? Yes. Does it have meaning behind it? I also do think yes. I do. Because if it wasn't something that was real, then I don't think that we wouldn't put it out there, right? I just don't believe we would. There's some truth to everything that's out there. And we have to be the ones to find it. And I mean, look at this. Look at this. Hey, Jake, why did you cancel my fire insurance? Because it's cheaper to build a smart city over the empty lots. Look, it's everywhere. People are looking into this. We are all waiting and anticipating these 15-minute cities to pop up in all of these destroyed areas. And I don't think it's not going to happen. And this is the last thing I'm going to leave you with today. I hope you enjoy it as much as I did. But this is hilarious and pretty true. Pretty true. Check this out, everybody.
All right, so this for all the combat sports fans, right? So me personally, I'm a striker fan, bro. Like, I like niggas that throw hands, you feel me? But I understand, yo. If you somebody that know jujitsu or wrestling, there's basically nothing you can do against these niggas, bro. If you are untrained and a nigga that is experienced in grappling gets their hands on you, there is nothing you can do, bro. There's nothing. Nothing you can do, bro. I'm telling you. They understand shit you don't, bro. They know how to shift their body weight and keep balance. They're trained to stay on their feet. They know how to get in positions that's going to put you on the ground, bro. They will be on top of you, fucking humping you and shit, getting behind you. You don't want that, brother. If you square up with a nigga and he look like he about to, you know, the wrestlers and shit, they get to grabbing your neck. They look like they about to do that. If you square up with a nigga and he get down on his ass and start shooting to you, nigga, run or shoot that nigga, bro. Trust me.
Now, I will say that I do 100% agree with him because it's unlike anything else out there. It's just striking can only be done at distance, you know? But when you get down to it and you grapple like I grapple, this is pretty true. Now, are there instances that, you know, if you get into a scramble or something and somebody knows some MMA, you know, that could be trouble for just the grappler. It could, because just the grappler usually isn't ready to get punched in the face when they're in the middle of, I don't know, setting up for an armbar. Let's just use that for an example. But pulling somebody into your guard could be a dangerous situation. in a regular street fight. It could. But there are many different positions that hold true to what this gentleman says. That's just a little bit of food of thought for thought out there for people who, that I think there's a lot more trained people out there today than there are untrained people. But anybody, especially all the people I roll with, you understand definitely the manipulation of the human body after training at least for 3-4 years. I've been doing it for a decade now, and man, there are so many ways, even minute little things that you can do that will just like devastate somebody. So I do agree with this guy. And I do think that, if somebody is out there starting with somebody who knows how to grapple, and we all deal with the same exact thing, at least I hope we do. I hope we do, which is we are never supposed to use this for bad, right? We're not supposed to use it for evil. And I know that there's probably a lot of people out there that do. They learn how to do this stuff, and they go and start fights, and they do their thing. Whatever, that's fine. That's you. But at the end of the day, I hope the majority of us are being true to the martial art itself. We're not causing the issue, but we know how to diffuse the issue, and we know how to protect ourselves. And if something happens where you have to protect yourself, I feel really bad for the person who did the attacking, because they are going to be in a world of hurt that they possibly could not ever imagine. And I will tell you that the day that happens, I've thought about this 100 times. What if something was to pop off, somebody was to attack me, and then my muscle memory just kicks in? I honestly don't know what would happen, And this is kind of like a little bit of inside my brain, I guess. But when I first started jiu-jitsu and got into martial arts, I was always afraid, because I was like, I don't want to get into a fight because I don't know what I'm doing. And I don't, scared, right? First couple years. Well, after 5 years of being in jiu-jitsu, my brain started changing. I was like, oh man, I'm actually not afraid of the conflict or a type of interaction like that. I'm actually a little bit more afraid for the other person, because if you train on a regular basis, that's built into you. You go to class 2-3 times a week. You run the same drills. You do drilling makes killers, everybody. It makes killers. Why? Because we do the same motion over and over and over and over again. And everybody hates drilling. Everybody hates drilling. Nobody wants to drill. Everybody wants to roll. That's the fun part. But the drilling, once that is drilled into you exactly like it's supposed to be, that's why it's called drilling, your muscle memory takes over from there. So if somebody was to grab me on the shoulder in an aggressive way, the next thing you're going to find is your back on the ground and me on top of you. Like, it's just not even, I don't even hesitate thinking that I could or couldn't do it. It's literally baked into me. So even though I completely honor the martial art of jiu-jitsu, and I would never use it to just start a fight or, whatever, I do always have in the back of my mind, is this the day? Is this the day where someone messes with me? You know what I mean? Because I am also extremely curious just to see what would happen, Because, at the end of the day, like anything, right? You train, you learn how to drive, you learn how to fly, you learn how to do certain things, you learn how to do gymnastics or basketball, you learn how to do all these things, whatever the thing is that you learn how to do. And you get good at it. And you have fun with it, right? You know how to drive. You drive your car. You fly a plane. You do this. You do that. Well, martial arts is the exact same thing. You don't know it until you learn it. And once you learn it, you can do it. So, it's a tool that, in a sense, can never actually be utilized except for in the space that it is accepted to use it in. So, what would happen outside of that space? And I will say that I'm no longer afraid of knowing what would happen. I'm actually curious to see how much of that training would actually kick in. And it would just be all muscle memory at that point. It wouldn't be me thinking about going into an arm bar. It wouldn't be me thinking about taking someone's back and doing whatever. It would just be me acting upon what is happening, and hopefully all my training just kicks in. But this guy is not far from the truth, man. If you are picking a fight and they know how to grapple, you are going to be in for a big surprise. Big surprise. But I got a real chuckle out of that. And again, I want to thank everybody out there, especially Mike, Elijah, Hugh. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for sending me all the stuff that you always send me. Thank you to all of my subscribers. And if you're new, remember to subscribe. You want your opportunity to be on the podcast, send an audio, video, or type it out, but you got to send an email to the address. And then, of course, you want a t-shirt. I got those. If you want more TWT, it's in the link tree in the description below the video. All right, go click it, find everything there. And I just hope everybody out there enjoys their Thursday. I hope you have a great weekend, and I will talk to you later.